Like, I know I'm the one making the major decisions over here, but I'm like, why can't these two losers just fall in love right now? Hello friends and enemies, welcome to day 14 of Writemas, aka Vlogmas writing edition. So we skipped over day 13 because I didn't get to write anything that day. As I mentioned before in a previous vlog, I wasn't sure if I was going to get any writing done because I knew that was going to be a really busy day. And lo and behold, I did not get home until 4 a.m. this morning. So today was just essentially me trying to catch up on sleep and trying to catch up on rest. I'm also coming down with some allergies. I've been crying just out of my left eye for the entire day and I've had a stuffy runny nose, which is a little bit weird because I usually get allergies in the fall. But if you've been following some of my travel logs elsewhere, you know that I also got allergies in the summer when I was in London this year. So I guess 2024 is the year of random allergy attacks in seasons that don't make sense to me. But anyways, back to what we're here for, the writing. So today we're going to be focusing on a lot of the honeymoon part of this mission, because what's happening in the second chance romance is that they're faking an elopement and going on a honeymoon specifically for their mission. So we're getting to the spy territory-ish. And this is also going to be the first time that the main characters have been alone for a long period of time. They don't have their supervisors, they don't have other agents, they don't have the female main character's family to act as buffer between them. It is now forced proximity trope time. So I'm gonna stop yapping because I've been yapping for a long while and we're going to get into the first writing sprint. Hello, I just finished my first writing sprint. It is currently 11:42. I have written 345 words, which is pretty good. I had a few moments where I had to stop and pause and just what am I doing? And it was taking me a really long time to try to describe what was going on. So I was like, you know what? We're going to put an elephant placeholder and we're going to move on. And then I started to do a little bit of character research because I was deciding if I wanted to introduce a character here or not. Again, not going to give any spoilers because we're in the rising action mode, but they're a pretty important person. And I changed a little bit of their backstory from the previous draft to this draft. So I'm trying to see if it makes sense for them to be introduced now or later down the line. I think I'll include them for now just to see how it plays out. Because again, we're just playing a nice little improv game where I'm playing all the roles. So I'm going to go on a little bit of a break and then I'll catch y'all after the next writing sprint. Hello, it is currently 12:12. I just finished my second writing sprint. I didn't reset my session target just because I was worried since I was going to be writing past midnight. I couldn't remember if I still had the setting where it changes automatically at midnight, so I don't know how much I wrote for the specific sprint, but I do know for tonight's writing session, I have written 574 words overall. I do feel like that my word count is going to be a little bit slower for the next few writing sprints, mostly because I'm making up with new words, so it's going to be a lot of pausing, typing, pausing, researching something, pausing, typing. So I wouldn't be surprised if I don't hit my writing target in any of the next coming days, just because I'm trying to just grabbing the words and trying to put them on the page. So it's not going to be as much word vomit, not as much copying and pasting, because we are building this scene from scratch. I spent a good chunk of this writing sprint just trying to look up different last names for this character, because I just changed so much about this character, even their name. I highly suggest forebears.io. I love using this website specifically for finding last names for people from a specific country, because you could look up a country and look for the most popular last names from that country and other countries that last name is popular in. So it's really helpful when you're writing about diaspora Filipinos like I am and you're trying to think of last names that would occur both in the US and in the Philippines. But of course they also do other countries. I feel like I could do a whole video just about how much I use Forebears and just how much I love it. And this is not sponsored by them. I just really love using this website. It's one of my go-to resources when it comes to writing. So yeah, I spent a good while on that website just trying to find a last name for this character. So even though it felt a little bit slow and a lot of pausing and not actual writing, I feel like I did pretty well with this sprint. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break and then I'm going to come back for the next writing sprint. Hello, it is currently 12:58. I finished my writing sprint a while ago and kind of just took a break because I got real distracted and I was like, okay, let me just do that and then go back to the recap. So for the entire night, I have written in total 791 words. I'm admittedly very distracted right now, so I'm not making too much progress, but I think I could probably fit in like one more writing sprint and then I'm gonna go to bed. Like, there's just something about this chapter. It's like establishing a new setting, establishing new characters. I'm just like, yeah. We get to meet these new people. We get to see these new places. I want these two losers to fall in love. Like, I know I'm the one making the major decisions over here, but I'm like, why can't these two losers just fall in love right now? But the other part of me is like, Joelle, we need to set all of these things up. Gotta have like a little bit of a slow burn. We can't just have them all up on each other right now. So despite my internal fighting right now, I'm gonna take a very mini break and then I'm gonna go back into my writing sprint. Hello, it is currently 1:52 a.m. I just finished up my writing sprint and in total for the night, I have written 1,404 words. I'm so stressed out because I decided to change the setting of this section. So for context, I was originally going to have them go on this cruise and now I'm like, I don't really want to like plan out a cruise. I'm just gonna drop them off and like a little resort somewhere. So there's that whole change that I have to do. I think it'll be easier though because them bopping around multiple locations, I feel like now that I have like looked at the story and thought about it, I'm like, we can benefit from just being in one location. Like it'll still make sense. It won't be as much like hard work trying to like track where they're going and such. And I think it like gives them time to actually plan out this mission. So that's one thing. I also decided to do a second writing sprint, a second 20-minute writing sprint. Since I was so focused on like doing the research part of just like changing the setting, I was like, I need to do some actual writing and like get some words in here. I need to make up for the fact that I didn't write yesterday and like continue writing. I like really got into the groove of it and kind of just like felt the words flowing out of me, which is good because I don't think I could have any more words flow out of me tonight. I had a slow start and I was doing pretty well towards the end. I think this is a good spot for me to end and then pick up where I left off tomorrow. Low-key a little bit mad at myself that I decided to change the location because it's a place that I've never been to, so I have to do a lot of research for it. And originally, the places that we're going to, I had been to like almost all of them, so I was like, okay, sure. But I love a little travel research, so that's what we have going for us tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me in my writing and my yapping. Stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!